Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us. We're just going to give it another minute to give the other attendees a chance to log in. All right, so we'll get started. Thanks again for joining us. We'd just like to welcome you to the 2021 Admission to Michener webinar. So this is an info session strictly about the CASPer assessment. We'll just turn our cameras on really quickly to introduce ourselves. So my name is Chanel, and this is my colleague Megan, and so together we will give you a brief overview of the CASPer process that we have to replace MMIs this year, and then we'll answer some frequently asked questions. We are going to turn our cameras off for the duration of the webinar, just to ensure that we maintain the quality standards for the video. So as I mentioned, in lieu of the MMIs this year, we will be using the CASPer test, which is the computer-based assessment for sampling personal characteristics as part of the 2021 admission requirements for our full-time programs, excluding programs partnered with U of T and Laurentian. The CASPer results will be used alongside the published admission requirements to rank applicants and offer admission. It's an online test designed to assess key non-cognitive skills, as well as interpersonal and professional characteristics for students to be successful in Michener programs and in healthcare professions.
The test is made up of 12 sections of video and written scenarios. So after each scenario, you will be required to answer a set of questions within a set amount of time. The test typically takes between 75 and 90 minutes to complete, and each response will be assessed and graded by a different person or rater, which gives a very robust and reliable view of personal and professional characteristics that are important to Michener programs. Now, you're not required to study for the CASPer, although you may find it very useful to become comfortable with the structure of the test at takecasper.com. There are 6 dates that have been set up for Michener applicants to complete the test, so October 22nd, November 19th, and December 8th, which of course have all passed. So upcoming dates for the assessment are January 5th and January 26th.
Oh, sorry about that, was still on mute. So there are some system requirements. We strongly suggest that you complete the CASPer system requirements check found on your reservations page in your intended test environment. This means if you'll be doing it in your bedroom, You may want to do the test in your bedroom to ensure the echoing is sufficient, all of that. It is important to complete this check using the same computer, the same webcam, and the same internet connection that you intend to use on test day for the best results. To avoid time zone scheduling issues, if you happen to be in a different time zone, check the countdown timer on your test page in your CASPer account.
And as previously mentioned, the two final dates to complete the CASPer test are coming up. So these are Tuesday, January 5th, 2021, and Tuesday, January 26th, 2021. So please book your test as soon as possible, as there are no exceptions if applicants do not complete their CASPer test by that last date.
So lastly, just stay on top of your application. Applications to our full-time programs are open until February 1st on the OCAS portal. All supporting documents, including transcripts, must be submitted to OCAS by February 8th. We will start to issue offers in mid-April. So now we'll move on. We will now respond to some of the frequently asked questions surrounding the CASPer assessment in hopes to assist you with the last two test dates.
All right, so question number 1, is the CASPer test replacing MMI? So MMI is the multiple mini interview process that has been used during the admissions process in the past. However, this process has been suspended for 2021 admissions, of course, due to COVID-19. Applicants to Michener full-time programs will be required to sign up for and take a CASPer assessment. It's important to note that programs that are offered with academic partners, such as the University of Toronto and Laurentian University programs, they do not require the CASPer.
So question number 2, do I need to send my CASPer test results to Michener? CASPer will send your test results and your snapshot, if you do the snapshot, directly to Michener. And then the test results will be used for all of the programs that you applied to.
Question 3, I am applying to 3 full-time programs. Do I need to complete the CASPer test for each program? So no, that is not a requirement. The CASPer test is designed to give you an overall impression or a general sense of the candidate and what has drawn them to a profession in healthcare. So your answers to your CASPer test will be used for each program.
So question 4, what is the CASPer snapshot and how is it different from the CASPer test? So the snapshot is an extension of the CASPer test. It's intended to provide programs with an extra piece of information about you when timelines and standard procedures have been so challenging this year. Specifically, it was developed because our partner programs have expressed their interest in getting additional information about their applicants this cycle, particularly around communication skills. This is an opportunity for you to demonstrate your personal attributes to the programs you are applying to, particularly during this time where face-to-face communication is difficult. This will help supply programs with additional information to make more informed decisions on applications and who each applicant is as an individual.
So question 5, do I need to complete CASPer snapshot? So as Chanel just explained, it is a requirement for admission into any of the full-time programs at Michener. And you can read more about this process, the CASPer snapshot, at this link here. So take casper.com/casper-snapshot for more information.
So question number 6, I didn't know I had to complete the CASPer snapshot and it's been more than 10 days. Can I still complete the snapshot? And does the delay or lateness impact my score negatively? So if you've already completed the CASPer test and the score distribution deadline has passed for your program or programs, but you've not yet taken the snapshot, that's okay. Your application will not be considered incomplete, but we do ask that you complete the snapshot as soon as possible.
Question 7. How is CASPer used to calculate my admission score? So your CASPer score will account for 50% of your overall application score. The other 50%, to make 100% of your application score, will be your prerequisite requirements and your CGPA, so your cumulative grade point average. Those will be used together to assess your eligibility for the program. So 50% CASPer and 50% of your application. And for more information about the admissions process, please see our previous admissions webinars that are available on our website.
So question number 8, how does my CASPer score and my CGPA get calculated to rank me as an applicant? What about my checklist? How are my CGPA, CASPer score, and checklist used to rank me? So your CASPer score will account for 50% of your overall application score. The other 50% of your applicant score will be based on the prerequisite requirements and CGPA requirements for the program you've applied to. Programs which require an applicant experience checklist will have a score system of 15% for the checklist, 35% for the CGPA, and 50% for the CASPer score.
Question 9, how can I prepare for the CASPer? Are there any practice tests? So a sample CASPer test is available. So to access this sample test, please log into your CASPer account, go to Test Management, and choose CASPer System Requirements Check. You can also visit the test prep page, which is visible on the screen, to familiarize yourself with the standard CASPer test format. This will help to reduce the test day and anxiety and to ensure no technical issues will prevent you from having a smooth test on test day.
So question 10, does CASPer provide feedback on results? I want to know how I did and if there's anything I can improve to make myself more competitive for the next application cycle. So while CASPer does not provide feedback on the test applicants, they do offer many helpful tips that should be noted prior to beginning to the test date, such as taking the system requirements check to ensure you have a smooth connection, ideally at the same time of the day as the test that you're going to take. This is available once you've created an account. You can also take the sample test. This is also available after you've created your account and mimics the full test structure. You can work through this multiple times and it's tremendously useful, especially from the perspective of getting a feel for the 5-minute timer. There's also a test prep section and a webinar created by CASPer that you can view. We've added it to the CASPer page on the Michener website, which was previously the MMI page. So you can take a look at that as well.
Question 11, I missed the CASPer test deadline. Is there an option to do the test if I missed the last test date? So as mentioned before, there will be no exceptions that will be made for applicants who have not completed their CASPer test. So no, if you miss the deadline, you will not have met the admission requirements and you would need to reapply for the 2022 fall intake.
So question 12, will MMIs return after COVID or is CASPer going to be a permanent admission requirement? So the CASPer test was implemented as a trial phase due to the inability to host the MMIs because of the pandemic. So the decision as to whether CASPer will replace MMIs indefinitely will be revisited in 2022. So we'll keep you posted.
Question 13, can I offer feedback on the CASPer process and experience? Absolutely. And you can definitely submit any feedback regarding your experience as an applicant to regoffice@michener.ca.
And that is pretty much it. We'd like to thank you for watching. I do see that there are a few of you that have some questions. So we also have our admissions officer, Dylan, here, and I'll read them out and we'll see if he can respond. If not, I will ask whoever wrote the question to maybe email it, and then we can get back to you. So Dylan, just let me know when you're ready.
Yep, ready.
Okay, so I will ask questions that are related to CASPer. So for the respiratory therapy program, do I need to sit for CASPer? In the website for the respiratory therapy program, CASPer is not necessary.
So it is necessary for any of our full-time programs. We are requiring applicants to complete the CASPer examination. So I apologize if that was not clear on our website, and we will do everything to make that abundantly clear. But just to confirm, respiratory therapy, medical laboratory science, ultrasound, genetics technology, diagnostic cytology, cardiovascular perfusion, and chiropody all require a CASPer exam. The only programs which do not are not applied directly to Michener, and those are for our University of Toronto Medical Radiation Science programs and the Laurentian Radiation Therapy program.
Thanks, Dylan. So the next question is the CASPer test still worth half of the application process with equal weight with grades? And I believe the answer is yes, but for programs with checklists, it is worth 35%.
Yeah, so the checklist component is 15% of your overall score, 35% is your CGPA, and 50% is your CASPer exam.
Oh, thanks. Will we receive any notifications that Michener has received our CASPer results?
So once you've completed your CASPer exam, you can be sure that we will receive your result. CASPer does send us all of the test results in a timely fashion, so you do not need to worry about receiving acknowledgement of your CASPer result being received by our institution.
Excellent. And then the last question was, how much will snapshot be weighted in terms of admissions? You mentioned that CASPer will be 50%. How much would snapshot be?
Yeah, so at this time, the snapshot actually will not count towards your competitive score. The snapshot is simply a component asked for of CASPer, so we do encourage you to complete the snapshot. However, it does not impact your competitive score.
Perfect. So I think that brings us to the end. I do not see any other. So someone said, do we do the CASPer snapshot after the CASPer test? And yes, the CASPer snapshot is to be done 10 days after completing the CASPer test. Another question is, I have written the CASPer test in October and would like to apply to a program at Michener now. Do you know if we are allowed to make changes to our CASPer test and ask them to send the updated scores?
So as long as you've completed the CASPer exam in this year, you can request CASPer send your score to Michener. You cannot retake CASPer in the same year, but if you did take it October 2020, then you can contact CASPer and request that they send your results for Michener's programs.
Thank you. Another question came in. So someone's asking, where can we find the recorded webinar? If you go on the michener.ca website and you type in the search webinars, we have a page where we host all of the recorded admissions videos, and this one will be uploaded just as soon as the video is downloaded once we are completed. And there is one. If I take the CASPer on the last day, does this lower my chances of getting into the respiratory therapy program?
No, this does not. So you can take the exam on any of the scheduled dates. In fact, you must. The last date possible is completely acceptable, and yeah, it does not impact your chances.
And then this is the last one I'll ask. Someone is asking which programs, if we can confirm which programs require checklists that will be weighted at 15%.
So the cardiovascular perfusion program, the genetics technology program, and the diagnostic cytology program require an applicant experience checklist. On the admission page, there is a hot link. So if you just click on the admission requirements, you will see that there is a checklist. You can download this checklist, save it as a PDF, fill it out. So basically by putting an X in all the spots that you believe you are achieving points in, and then you can submit that directly to OCAS, or you can email it to regoffice@michener.ca as one PDF attachment, preferable. So ideally, all your supporting documents and your checklist can come in one email in one PDF, rather than staggering them in multiple emails. But we understand sometimes that that's just what happens, so no worries, but we do encourage those to be downloaded and submitted at your earliest convenience. And just for the record, February 8th is the final deadline for your checklist to be submitted, as well as any transcripts, supporting documents, etc. So remember, February 1st, last day to apply. February 8th is the last day we can receive your transcripts. And that's very important. So let's say you're in your final year of your undergrad, please be sure that your in progress undergraduate transcript is sent in the, I believe it's the winter 21 semester, not at the end. So basically at the end of this fall 2020 semester, you want to submit your in progress transcript.
Thank you very much, Dylan, for jumping in and answering these last minute questions. So I do see a few questions that came in after. However, we are going to end the recording. You will be able to find answers to those questions on the webinar page once we've uploaded the video, as we did answer all of these questions. Anything else that wasn't related to CASPer, unfortunately, we don't have the time to answer, but we're happy to respond if you send us an email at regoffice@michener.ca. Thanks again for watching and have a great day.